Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the ground beneath your feet, the oceans that stretch endlessly, and even the very air you breathe were once nothing more than a fiery ball of boiling lava floating in the darkness of space. The earth you call home was born out of chaos and unimaginable heat around 4.6 billion years ago. And what makes this story breathtaking is not just how it all began, but how every single event, from violent explosions to random collisions, worked together like pieces of a cosmic puzzle to create the perfect conditions for life, including you and me. So let's journey back to that time when nothing existed but a vast, silent cloud of gas and dust, what scientists call the solar nebula, mostly made of hydrogen and helium, drifting in the endless void until one day a massive supernova exploded nearby, sending shockwaves that disturbed this cloud and set off a chain of events that would ultimately create our sun, our planets, and every asteroid and comet in between. And as this nebula collapsed under its own gravity, it spun faster and flattened into a disk, known as the protoplanetary disk, within which, at the center, the pressure became so intense that hydrogen atoms fused into helium, releasing energy so powerful that our sun was born, blazing into existence and holding onto 99.8% of all the mass of the solar system, leaving behind just 0.2% to form the planets, moons, and everything else. And from those leftover dust grains, tiny clusters began sticking together, colliding, and growing into larger bodies called planetesimals, then protoplanet through a process known as accretion. Until after millions of years of violent crashes and gravitational pulls, a molten, chaotic Earth took shape, covered in seas of lava, bombarded constantly by asteroids and comets. An age so hellish that scientists call it the Hadin Iyang. And yet it was during this fiery period that Earth received its most precious gift, water delivered by comets and asteroids rich in ice, filling the skies with steam that condensed into rain, falling endlessly to form the first oceans, while at the same time, Earth itself began to differentiate, with heavy elements like iron and nickel sinking to the center to form the blazing hot core, while lighter elements floated upward to form the crust and mantle, giving rise to volcanoes, gases, and eventually a protective atmosphere. And as Earth cooled, it found a companion, the moon, born not from capture or co-formation, but from a cataclysmic, which fused its core with Earth's ass and hurled debris into space that coalesced into the moon we see today. And this was no ordinary accident, because the moon stabilized Earth's tilt at 23.5 degrees, giving us seasons, climates we could adapt to, and tides that helped early life transition from sea to land. And as time passed, volcanoes belched out gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and ammonia, slowly forming an atmosphere that lacked oxygen at first, but cooled enough for rain to keep falling, creating vast oceans that absorbed heat and carbon dioxide, regulating the climate. And it is thanks to Earth's magnetic field, generated by the churning of molten iron in the outer core, that life became possible. Because this invisible shield protected us from deadly solar winds and radiation, preserving our atmosphere so oxygen could eventually rise and living organisms could thrive. And when you look deeper, you realize that everything about Earth is a miracle of precision, the perfect distance from the Sun. Not too close like Venus, and not too far like Mars, the perfect size to hold an atmosphere. The right volcanic activity to balance greenhouse gases, and the Moon's gravitational pull to steady our rotation, and every tiny event, every collision, every burst of heat and rain led us to the moment where life could finally begin, evolve, and lead all the way to you listening to this story right now. And if that doesn't fill you with wonder, then pause and think about the fact that uranium on Earth is older than the solar system itself, formed in a supernova billions of years before our planet even existed, and that the rocks you walk on carry memories of unimaginable ages, holding secrets scientists decode through radiometric dating, meteorites, and computer simulations, piecing together the grand narrative of how chaos became order, how nothingness became life, and how the violent universe gave birth to a planet so balanced that it nurtured humans, forests, oceans, and the infinite diversity of life we see today. And this is why, my friends, our responsibility to protect this planet is greater than ever. Because Earth is not just a rock floating in space, is a rare, extraordinary home where everything had to happen in just the right way, against impossible odds for you and me to exist. And if this journey through time and creation inspired you even a little, then don't just keep it to yourself. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with others, so together we can keep exploring the incredible mysteries of our universe.